Good evening, friends, families, guests, teachers, and coaches. This day has been full of goosebumps, butterflies, sweat, and tears. It's been a long ride. Before these last few weeks, we weren't as united as we are now. We've cherished these last days together because we know truly if nobody had our back, we had our back. Each of us will not be going to a Tier 1 college to pursue this legendary career in STEM, but each of us will have an opportunity to become great. But this is the problem. There are these invisible standards of great that have been embedded in us. But sometimes, our teachers and counselors truly want what's best for us, but only we know what's best for us. We can't be afraid to try. We have to find our own great, our own standard of success. But sometimes these things take time, so don't be discouraged if you haven't found your calling yet. For starters, we've made it here to graduation. The rational part of us is what we often listen to, but we have to listen to our hearts. Let's not settle for anything. Let's love what we do and be job-free. The young man who is speaking to you today is the student, the learner, Matthew Yarbrough. But the Matthew Yarbrough that has matured and grown through the halls of Douglas High School, if you want to hear that Matthew Yarbrough, that would have to wait another day. Because this isn't about me. This is about all of us on this stage. To all my colleagues, my comrades, it's time. Let's do it.
Greetings to the class of 2017, families, friends, and dignitaries of the Atlanta Public School System. I stand before you as the Salutatorian of the class of 2017. Before I begin my speech, I would like to pay homage to the people who have helped me along the way. I would first like to thank God because without Him, I would not be in this position. I would then like to thank my family, my parents for raising me and training me up in the way that I should go. My grandmother for praying for me when I couldn't pray for myself. My eldest brother for showing me an example of a strong brotherhood. And my eldest sister for showing me an example of tenacity and courage in the face of adversity. I would next like to thank my church community because with them, I was grounded in my faith. I would lastly like to thank the teachers and faculty who fought on my behalf so that I could get to this position. Thank you. I don't know what the dream is you may have. I don't know how disappointing it may have been as you've been working towards that dream. Over this 4-year journey, we have all overcome many obstacles. For some, those obstacles included homelessness. For others, those obstacles included negative stereotypes. Unfortunately for a few, those obstacles included the death of a loved one. Personally, in the past school year, I have had to overcome the death of 2 of my uncles, the death of my cousin, and my sister's kidney failure. In January of 2016, my family received the news that my eldest sister would need a second kidney transplant, with the first being in January of 2008. Even though I hated seeing my sister in her weakest moments, I persevered in the face of adversity because I knew she wanted me to remain strong for her and my family until she received her kidney transplant, which I'm proud to announce that she did in February of this year. Whatever the mountain is on your journey, know that your dream is possible. You have made it to this defining moment. Wherever the pursuit of your dreams take you, know that you are more than a statistic. You are an example of success. Don't you dare listen when you are told that you cannot accomplish your dreams. Say to yourself, no matter how bad the obstacle gets, I'm going to make it. Remember who you have become over these past 4 years. Remember the lessons you have learned from your failures, your families, your teachers, and your peers. To my young ladies, remember your worth. And to my young men, remember your responsibilities. As we close this chapter of our lives, I charge you, class of 2017, to continue to refine the platform you have built for yourself. See yourself for who you really are. You are more beautiful than you realize, stronger than you know, and more powerful than you can ever imagine. And so I say, congratulations to the Maynard Holbrook Jackson High School class of 2017. And in the words of Delta Airlines Incorporated, keep climbing. Now go be great. Thank you, and God bless you.
The Greek philosopher Plato once said, "Kalei pata kala," nothing beautiful without struggle. I stand here before you today because I did not allow for circumstances beyond my control to control me. Instead, during the dark days, I persevered until my situation transformed into something bigger and brighter for me. I took ownership of my situation. This trait, my friends, is exactly what brings us here today on this stage with our cap and gown. Personal accountability. It is our guide for life. It is our guide for life. I say to you, class of 2017, do exactly what you have done before. Take hold of your personal accountability, the thing that has brought us here on this wonderful day. Confront and overcome obstacles, all obstacles and adversity that dare to encroach on your hopes and dreams. We are the proud class of 2017. Just as we have remained true to our dreams of one day receiving our diplomas, let us remain true to our plans for the future. We must now captain our ships across these unfamiliar seas into the horizons of the future. This is our charge to keep, our calling to fulfill, our rendezvous with destiny. Kristen Larson once said, "Take pride in how far you have come, and have faith in how far you will go." Thank you.
Good evening. To the Atlanta Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Maria Karstoffen, our principal, Mr. Richard Fowler, faculty and staff, family, friends, and most of all, students. My name is Kayla Willis, and I am the salutatorian of the amazing, stupefying, incomparable class of 2017. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge those who have helped me along my journey. My time here at Mays High School began by forging some great friendships with some great people, like Sydney Stepney, Sydney Gilmore, and Joshua Smith, while other friendships remain constant over the years with people like Sierra Lovings, Courtney Gray, Justin Grundy, and Ryan Martin. To my lovely family, thank you for being the perfect set of parents to allow me to fulfill my goal here on earth. To my loving father, thank you for always being my biggest cheerleader, yet still being my voice of reason. To my mother, thank you for being a standout role model. Under those scrubs you wear to work every day, I'd like to think you had that S on your chest. To my little brother H, affectionately known as Henry, thank you for always being you. With you and our family, you're always that rainbow that comes out after the storm. I plan to take all my current love and support as I continue down my journey of life, as I will be attending the Wake Forest University in the fall, majoring in economics and international affairs with a minor in Spanish. Thank you. So, over this entire school year, it felt surreal. I would graduate at the top of my class, and that if named the Salutatorian of such an amazing class, I would have to give a speech. So here I am. I sat at my computer, perplexed with what I should say. So then I decided, let's just start this the same way I did when I was in 5th grade. Congratulations, today is our day. We're off to great places, we're off and away. These are the great words of Dr. Seuss from Oh, the Places You'll Go. At the beginning of this story, Dr. Seuss talks about how there's endless possibilities and how we are the captains of our own ships. I believe the class of 2017 has mastered those goals. So I'd like to discuss the middle part of the Dr. Seuss story. He says a few important things. One, out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsie as you. Both good and bad can happen as we travel down this journey and attain our goals, no matter how smart we are. Even if we plan every single step of the way, things don't always go as planned. However, when things go awry, this builds our character. For as the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, the ultimate measure of man is not where he stands in times of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Secondly, Dr. Seuss says, alone is something you'll be quite a lot. While we know we have the support of our families and friends and our loved ones, it must be by our own will that we want to succeed. We can't just sit there and wait for somebody to give us that golden dream. We've got to get out there and make it happen for ourselves. Third, on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the hack and cracks howl. Dr. Seuss explains how though our journey may not be ideal, we will continue to strive for success. Although we might encounter some challenges and some failures, it is through this adversity that we will be groomed for greatness. So, take a look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was either a part of the greatest high school roster of all time, or his high school basketball coach made a big mistake cutting him from the team. 6 championships and 5 MVPs later, Michael Jordan is arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. While these are the great words of Dr. Seuss, I believe the most important words I can leave you with are, behind us are all of our memories. In front of us are all of our dreams. Around us, everyone who loves us. But within us is everything that we need. Thank you.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Your connection to school and district information is now available in the palm of your hands. The APS mobile app will help our community get connected, stay informed, and be engaged. With our free mobile app, stay current with district and school news, keep up to date with calendars and events, and follow specific schools for a personalized mobile experience. With the Stream button, all of your news is in one customized feed. For anyone who speaks another language, our app translates to 65 languages so all members of our community can stay informed. As a parent, our new app is your one-stop shop for student information. Just log in to the app and view student schedules, check grades, access your child's bus information, and see lunch balances. With this amazing new tool, it is now easier than ever to not only get connected, but stay connected. Search Atlanta Public Schools in the App Store and download the new APS mobile app today.
Good afternoon. My name is Quasi Jones, and it is my honor to be standing before you all today on the culmination of KAC's Class of 2017's high school career. Now, I will not fill your ears with the cliche that just yesterday we were freshmen stepping into this unfamiliar world called high school. On behalf of our senior class, let me be the first to tell you that it does not seem like just yesterday. It surely feels like 4 years, if not more. But in these 4 years, we have all grown exponentially. And I don't mean height-wise, because as you can see, I surely have not. I mean that we have all had unique and shared experiences that have allowed us to grow out of bad habits of the past and enter our elevated selves. Now, it has not been easy. No, it has actually been quite difficult, and I commend us all for persevering. But as Frederick Douglass once said, without struggle, there is no progress. Choices are truly what have always and will always continue to dictate our lives. 13th century Persian poet Rumi most eloquently described the essence of choice when he said, "Both the demonic and angelic spirits present us with objects of desire to awaken our power of choice." In just a few months, we aren't going to have someone hovering over our heads advising us to do the right thing. It'll be up to us to make those decisions for ourselves. We are going to have to decide whether we are going to hit the clubs or hit those books. We are going to have to decide whether to turn up all night or turn up to class on time. We are going to have to decide whether we're going to spend the day getting lit or spend the day studying that literature. Yeah. Come on. Y'all don't hear me. Okay. We have witnessed firsthand what greatness comes about through good decision-making and hard work from our current and former teachers, faculty, and staff. While many of us didn't realize it, every day we saw these teachers, we were witnessing firsthand the physical manifestations of hard work, compassion, tenacity, innovation, grit, and unity. From Ms. Holmes, I learned that one should strive to live at the intersection of intellect and creativity. From Ms. Vo, I learned that as a citizen of the world, we have a duty to keep a critical eye on the media. With these lessons and more bestowed upon us from the minds of our great teachers and staff, we will be equipped to conquer the world. And with the friendships we have developed along the way, including mine with Nadia Patterson, Elijah Marbury, and Desmond Smith, we will go out and take control of the world, educationally, of course. But it would be a crime for me to forget the immeasurable contribution of our parents and families. Your constant support, day in and day out, your patience, your ability to stick with us even when we refuse to wash the dishes and clean our rooms, your love for us even when we are hard-headed and won't listen, your understanding even when we can't seem to stay out of trouble. All of these things helped us to be able to make it to the stage today. I would like to take a second publicly to give my utmost thanks and gratitude to my very own parents, Gina Golden Jones and Dr. Lee Jones. Yes, clap it up. My dear mother, allowing me and my sister to bear witness to your pure heart and entrepreneurial spirit has showed us that kindness coupled with passion are the main ingredients in the recipe for success. My father, since before I could talk, you were impressing upon me the age-old lessons from our great African-American leaders. But the greatest lesson I learned was from watching you, that a passion for learning and a service mentality will undoubtedly lead to greatness. Now, let me declare the duty that we, the class of 2017, and everyone in this room owes to the world. Each and every one of us has an obligation to be the products of the greatness our ancestors have always achieved, even in the most ruthless adversity. The Akan people of West Africa live by the philosophy of the Sankofa. They express the Sankofa through the saying, "Se wo were fina wo Sankofa ayenkiyi." This translates to, "It is not wrong to go back and fetch that which you have forgotten." Now, we may have forgotten that in the absence of modern technology, our ancestors built the pyramids. Or we may have forgotten that in the jarring era of slavery, our ancestors maintained our culture and dignity. We may have forgotten that in the depths of segregation and Jim Crow, our ancestors declared our constitutional rights to the world. But we will not forget to invoke the spirits of our ancestors, our parents, our teachers, our family, and our friends to fulfill the purpose that has been set out for us. Lastly, with the disproportionate murders of our young black men and women by the police, and with the increasingly tense political climate, our community, our country, our world needs saviors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are those saviors. We must be. Class of 2017, whether we are going to college or the armed forces or taking up some other vocational track, please keep in mind the duty you owe to this world. Never succumb to the discouragement of others or the belief that your life's work is somehow inferior to another's. I say to you that it is not what you do that makes you better or worse, it is the manner in which you do it. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "If you can't be a pine at the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or fail. Just be the best of whatever you are." Thank you.
Good evening, family, friends, teachers, administrators in the class of 2017. My name is Elijah Marbury, and I am honored to be recognized as the class of 2017's valedictorian at Kip Atlanta Collegiate High School. Ever since I can remember, I was known as the smartest kid in the classroom. As a child, I was a voracious reader. I loved doing rudimentary science labs. I enjoyed solving math equations, and I relished in learning about historical facts. Because of this, I never had to put serious thought into overcoming hardships or setting goals for myself, as I sailed effortlessly through elementary and middle school. My journey at KIPP began when I came to KIPP Strive in the 8th grade. I remember being extremely anxious because I was the new student that would grab everyone's attention. Although it was an uncomfortable situation at first, I quickly adjusted to my new environment and even made friends that I still have to this day. I thought that coming to Strive would be the last big adjustment that I would have to make for a long time. So imagine my surprise when I matriculated into high school, which opened up a vast sea of new opportunities as well as hardships. Almost immediately after stepping into KAC, I experienced something I was unaccustomed to: struggle. I struggled with getting to class on time, learning to play an instrument, and managing the workload that came with my classes. I even struggled with earning my first and last B in Mr. Washington's class, which made me consider fighting him. However, I realized that struggle has a refining quality. It forces you to set goals to become a more polished version of yourself. Pablo Picasso once wrote, "Our goals can only be reached through a vehicle of plan in which we must fervently believe and upon which we must vigorously act." There is no other route to success. Since my 9th grade year, the class of 2017 have set a variety of goals for ourselves. Some goals that I've accomplished include maintaining a 4.0 GPA, getting the highest ACT score in KAC history, and leaving behind a legacy as a leader and model student within KAC's community. As an entire class, we have demonstrated our superb leadership skills, both inside and outside of KAC's walls. Whether it was leading the football team to its first ever playoff season, bringing home cheerleading trophies, or traveling internationally with the band, the class of 2017 has made an indelible impact on KAC's community. Our SGA president, Dominique David, is a 5-star scholar. Our salutatorian, Quincy Jones, is a Posse scholar. We have earned scholarships to Clark Atlanta, Jackson State, and the University of Pennsylvania, to name a few. The class of 2017 has exhibited an immense amount of tenacity and character during our time at KAC. We are all united by a common goal, and that goal is success. Whether it's becoming lawyers, physicians, teachers, artists, researchers, or writers, we all possess a tunnel vision that is fixed on our aspirations. As we go forward from today, I want to urge all of my classmates to never lose sight of what is truly important. And what is truly important is what you want for yourself. Continue to be a source of positivity to those around you, just as you all were sources of positivity to me throughout high school. Do not let anyone deter you from your objectives, because the distractions you experience within KAC's walls will only multiply in the real world. Lastly, remember to just have fun and soak in every single moment you experience from this day on. I want to give this speech by giving special thanks to people who made my journey through high school easier. Ms. Vo, Ms. Hyvarian, both Hyvarian sisters, and Ms. Klein, thank you for supporting me in my schoolwork and being mother figures inside of KAC's building. Mr. Washington, thank you for showing me that I will not always be the best at everything I do, and reminding me that doesn't mean I have the option of quitting. I also want to thank you for providing me with so many life-changing experiences, such as traveling with the United Nations headquarters, South Africa, and Trinidad with the band. Mr. City, Bad Boys, and DOC, thank you for being a family to me. My closest friends, Nadia, Desmond, Jorian, Stavon, Jax, Deontay, Camelia, Donovan, Leilani, Haley, and Miana, and Chelsea. Thank you for constantly supporting me and sticking by my side through the ups and downs. Lastly, I would like to thank my mom, aunts, uncles, and both of my grandmothers for always sacrificing to make sure I had what I needed to succeed, as well as putting my desires before theirs. Class of 2017, Oscar-winning actress Meryl Streep once said, "This is your time, and it feels normal to you, but really there is no normal. There's only change and resistance to it, and then more change." As we leave out these doors today, know that the journey ahead will be filled with unfamiliarities. It will require us to make changes so that we can settle into our new realities of being on our own in the real world. Life is going to be stressful and frightening at times, but it will also be beautiful. Thank you.
Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he, with a chuckle, replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that could not be done, and he did it. An excerpt taken from Edgar A. Guess's poem entitled, "It Couldn't Be Done." 4 years ago, on the eve of my 8th grade graduation, almost to this very day, I was told, "You'll never do that. At least no one has ever done it." But I started to sing as I tackled the thing that could not be done, and I did it. Good evening, members of the Atlanta Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Maria J. Carr-Starfin, senior cabinet members, Principal Shelley Powell, assistant principals, family, friends, and distinguished guests. My name is Asha Olamina Redhead, and I am the Daniel McLaughlin Thurl High School Class of 2017 Valedictorian. Today is not only our day, or simply a bittersweet yet highly coveted conclusion to the end of years of hard work. This commencement ceremony is rather a victory for our families, and most importantly, a victory for our community and the society that we enter today as we transition from adolescence to adulthood. We will walk across the stage this evening as small gifts to a larger society, wrapped in our freshly pressed graduation robes, caps, and tassels. Today, we have won. As Daniel McLaughlin Thurl High School's class of 2017, we joined the ranks of an extremely powerful alumni network and an even more extensive and impressive African American community. Needless to say, we have some pretty big shoes to fill. The American national deficit is not only one of the economic or financial genre, as it may widely seem, but is that of the strong black men and strong black women that stand before you here today ready to graduate. Thus, I encourage you, the class of 2017, to be agents of change in an era that is desperately seeking leaders and critical thinkers. I encourage you to be as analytical as possible, to remember that life is but a game to be played, and to do your best to win at it. I encourage you to continue to root for your home team and to stay woke. Ironically, I was recently asked by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, how I would rate the future of Atlanta and the future of our world on a scale, 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. My initial thought and my immediate response was 1, because I feel like we're all sort of subjected to depression every time we turn on the news. But I had to take a step back and remember that I was still alive, that my brothers and my sisters were all still alive, and that my friends and fellow graduates of the class of 2017, our future, were all still alive. Thus, I responded with a 4, because though our future is most definitely bright, realism never hurts. On a more serious note, I would like to offer a very special thank you to my wonderful parents, Ashley and Akwoko Redhead, for not only keeping me grounded, but for vowing to believe in me before I even recognized I was worth believing in. To both of you, words cannot express my gratitude, because I would not be standing here today as a valedictorian of the class, a student with the highest GPA, accepted to 2 Ivy League institutions, more than 5 HBCUs, and Georgia's premier state institutions. Without you, I would not be here attending the illustrious Morgan State University in the fall on a full ride, room, board, tuition, a stipend, over $35,000 in extra outside scholarships, and more than 50 college credit hours from Georgia State University. I would also like to thank my extended family, all of my wonderful siblings, and all of my wonderful grandparents. And finally, to my class, I leave you with this question. Can you stand the rain? 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times, the bad times. You will always be right there for me. Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, Pharaoh, can you stand the rain? Congratulations, class of 2017.
Harvard Book Award, Georgia Certificate of Merit, the Placard for Excellence in Mathematics, AP Macroeconomics Award, First STEM Certification, top 5% of my graduating class, highest SAT score of the class of 2017. Good evening. My name is Cheyenne Zantana Ransom, and I am the star student of the Daniel McLaughlin Therrell High School. Albert Einstein once said that imagination is greater than knowledge. This is true for all of us, as imagination allows us to think outside the box, be original, and creatively solve any problem. Class of 2017, keep an open mind as we face challenges in the future. Solve problems in an unexpected way. Be unique, as we are all diamonds in the rough, and with just enough pressure, we could become glittering gems. We will change the world. Explore, dream, discover. If you can imagine it, believe it, then you will achieve it. Class of 2017, life is full of events that are affected by previous events, and today, as millions of high school seniors across the country take part in commencement ceremonies, today we celebrate the same exultant occasion. We knew we could, and today we did. We are not only an intelligent group of young people, we are believers. We are doctors, lawyers, teachers, engineers, and journalists of tomorrow, and this is the beginning of our elevated future. We are the future of this country, and we will be leaders because we are believers. I would like to thank my mother, Miss Angela Guider, who imparted in me to dream, even in the darkest moment. I would also like to thank my father, Mr. Zanny Ransom, who guided me to believe in my goals, no matter the circumstances. Finally, I would like to thank my mentor, my friend, my sister, Miss Carla Stocker, who imparted in me to reach for the stars. Thank you, Mom, Dad, and Carla for believing in me. Thank you, Atlanta Public Schools, my principal, Ms. Shelley Powell, my assistant principal, Dr. Clifton Nicholson, my counselor, Ms. Tamlin Johnson-Galloway, and my college advisors. Thank you, faculty, staff, friends, and community. I am happy to say that because I excelled in excellence and strive for success, I stand before you transformed and ready to meet my future head on. Thank you, class of 2017.
Rigorous academics, extracurricular activities, AP classes, dual enrollment, gifted courses, soccer games. There's an old saying, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? Good evening. It is me, now, today, and my name is Janelle Tanner, and I am the Daniel McLaughlin Thurl High School class of 2017. Salutatorian. Growing up in the city of Cleveland as a little girl was tough. Circumstances dictated success, dreams were shattered by fear, and if you did not become successful, you became a statistic. Moving to Atlanta was one of the greatest accomplishments for me and my family. Atlanta Public Schools embraced me, and from there on, I began to soar and gain the confidence that I needed to begin living out me. So as I stand before you today, ready to fly, ready to touch the sky, a conqueror of defeat, exceeding in excellence and striving for success, I know who I am and I believe in me. Thank you, Atlanta Public Schools, for helping me to understand that my circumstances will never dictate my success. You helped me to realize that not only am I capable of changing me, but I'm also one day capable of changing the world. Class of 2017, we are here. We made it, exceeding in excellence and striving for success. If not us, then who? If not today, then when? Even though this has been the greatest yet most challenging year of our matriculation, I feel as though we can be compared to eagles. For an eagle, whenever a storm arises, will place itself high above the storm. And when that storm hits, the eagle catches the wind in its wings and lifts itself above the storm. The eagle does not escape the storm. It merely uses the storm to lift itself higher. We've had many storms throughout this year alone, and when one of those storms hit earlier this year with the passing of our beloved teacher, Miss Paulette Wells, we were devastated, but we knew she would want us to continue on our journey towards success and greatness. Not only did the winds of our Thurl High School family help us to lift back off, but they helped us to soar even higher. They reminded us that we are prepared to overcome any obstacle, that we could rise above any challenge, any disappointment, any struggle, and most certainly any storm. I would like to thank my parents, Mrs. LaShawn Tanner and Mr. Johnny Tanner, for it is you who instilled in me the values to succeed in life. It is you who told me you can do it, just believe in yourself and never give up. You inspired me to believe in myself. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I would like to also thank my extended family, my sisters, my principal, Ms. Shelley Powell, my assistant principal, Dr. Clifton Nicholson, my counselors, Mrs. Cassandra Bolding and Mrs. Tamlin Johnson-Galloway, my teachers, and my friends. Thanks again to each of you. The class of 2017 is now prepared to become global citizens, positively impacting every life that we reach. In the words of Harriet Tubman, every great dream begins with a dreamer. We all have within us the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. We all have the potential to change the world. So as you observe us when we exit this facility today, know that our dreams, our goals, and our aspirations will all be attained because the class of 2017 is exceeding in excellence and striving for success because we believe. We know that within our hearts that because we believe, we hold the key to greater, better, unlimited sources of success. Speaking before you today would have been and still may be one of my greatest fears, but I now have the confidence in myself and I believe in me. So continue to work hard and embrace your challenges. You are capable of overcoming any obstacle and still succeed if you believe. And I believe in every last student standing on the stage right now. Remember that the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Thank you.
Attention travelers, next Tuesday a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Water, phone, and internet service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Hi, I'm Peter. And there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in! Help yourself to anything.
That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or does it explode like a shining supernova, lighting up the far-reaching corners of the galaxy? These rhetorical questions, posed by Harlem Renaissance poet Langston Hughes, incite a moment of reflection on our parallel past, present, and more importantly, our futures. Our dreams, my dream, is one still in progress. It is the cap and gown that I wear, the college dormitory that I will soon occupy, the realized dreams of my family. It has been the guiding light for my success throughout my school years. Having maintained a solid 93 GPA since grade school, earned a South Atlanta record-breaking 96 on the military ASVAB test, and a 1360 on the SAT. I stand before you as the star student of my graduating class. This dream, however, would not be a reality if it were not for my incredible father, Michael Daughter, and especially my wonderful mother, Keisha Dixon, who has stood in the gaps for me when I felt too weak to fight for my own dream. Had it not been for my South Atlanta family, teachers, administrators, and the incredible class of 2017, I would not have the grit to persevere when my own dreams began to shrivel like a raisin in the sun. It is because of the ongoing love, support, and dedication that I'm able to stand proudly as a recipient of 2 full-ride academic scholarships. Over 13 college acceptances, and an accumulation of over $319,000 in scholarships. This fall, I will open my eyes as a Jaguar at Southern University on a full-ride academic scholarship with a major in sociology. The chase for my dream will not stop, will not stagger, will not dry up, and it will not die. Class of 2017, chase the dream until it becomes a reality. Soar into your destiny. We are achieving the dream and believing the impossible. Thank you.
Salutatorian Dexter Davis, Jr.
Don't watch the clock. Do what it does and keep going. These words from Sam Levinson, a prolific writer and teacher of the mid-20th century, encapsulate my philosophy of everyday life and struggles. Like many of my hardworking and determined peers accompanying me on this stage tonight, I have experienced my share of failures and triumphs. Thankfully, more of the latter than the former. The starry triumphs of purple and teal are what shine through. In middle school, I made a conscious decision to be a scholar. My middle school counselor, Dr. Tony Jones, peeked into my future and gave me a glimpse of the benefits of staying diligent in school and the possibilities that a hard worker can garner. In high school, I met Police Lieutenant Kelly Coyer, who has never hesitated to write a recommendation on my behalf or drive me to many of the countless scholarship interviews that I had to attend. And I can't forget my middle school band director, Mr. John Connor, who taught me how to be a man and begin my musical career. The support of these kind individuals has given me the motivation to gain acceptance into more elite study societies such as Breakthrough Atlanta, Maynard Jackson Youth Foundation, the Ben Carson Scholars Fund, the National Honor Society, and the National Beta Club. At home, my mother and proudest proponent, Giovanni Washington, has cheered me on, instilling in me, don't let life beat you, you beat it. Mother, I deeply thank you for all of the sacrifice that you have made on my behalf. Like the time you drove me to Tennessee to receive my Ben Carson Award while you were sick, or the time you switched entire jobs just to support me in my more intensive years in my high school career. Every band performance, band parent meeting, award ceremony, PTSA meeting, you were there. By the time I reached 11th grade, I was ranked number 3 in my class. But more importantly, I had grown as a person, both academically and socially. I had grown, humbly driven by those who acted as drum majors for my success. Teachers, like the director of the baddest band in the land, Mr. Jamont Lane. Teachers, like my AP Literature teacher, Ms. Latasha Brown, and my AP US History teacher, Ms. Alma McCrae. Administrators, counselors, faculty, staff members, such as Dr. Ford, Mr. Braziel, Ms. Dixon, Ms. Aldrich, Ms. Suttle, you all have gave me the motivation to move on and encouraged me to make use of all of my resources and shine as brightly as possible. Class of 2017, I am proud to say that I am the recipient of over $384,000 in scholarships. Acceptance into over 10 colleges, and recognition that I could never have dreamed of. I am also proud to say that this fall, I will be attending my first choice on a full tuition scholarship, the Georgia Institute of Technology. Where I'll be majoring in computer engineering. Class of 2017, it is time for us to live out our goals, go out into the world, and also live out our dreams. For I know that all things are possible for those of us who believe.
Valedictorian Asha Cruz.
Yes, Dexter, we are achieving the dream, believing the impossible. Dynamic Esteem Class of 2017. I'm sure it didn't take long after we learned to do basic addition and subtraction for us to calculate the year where we got to be exactly where we are today, graduation. Ever since we were children, the year 2017 has been etched into our minds like the imprints on the Statue of Liberty. Well, it's here. We've made it. But what does that mean? We've made it. What have we made? We've made ourselves. Every experience in the past 4 years has helped to create the most recent versions of ourselves. Self-motivation, self-love, discipline, teamwork, collaboration, humility. These aren't just words. They're the it, and we've made it. Growing, maturing, learning. Class of 2017, we're ready. Whatever the world has in store for us, we're ready. The dreams we developed, whatever they may be, it's time to put them into action. It's time, Tina Scott, to roll up your sleeves and become a doctor. It's time, Salutatorian, to make a slam dunk in the NBA. It's time, Kendra Maddox, to claim your Academy Award in Hollywood. Class of 2017, it's time to dream big and achieve the seemingly impossible. Truly, all things are possible with the love and support of our families, friends, and teachers. This ceremony is for you to see where all your money, sacrifices, and signatures have gone towards. This very moment. Personally, I've had more help from people than I have fingers and toes. Those who have helped me apply for scholarships, encouraged me to join clubs, motivated me to keep going, taught me through my difficult times, and guided me through the college application process. I have no doubt in my mind that I would not be standing here today if it weren't for the help of each and every one of you, and I'll never be able to truly repay you. I honestly cannot describe the magnitude of your contributions to our successes, but for my family, I'll try my best. My first day of high school was difficult to say in the least. I missed the bus, spent half the day in the wrong academy, and everyone seemed so much bigger than I was, and they still do. However, when I got home, my mother said to me, "Don't worry about it, you'll be on top in no time." And here I stand before you as the valedictorian of the class of 2017. A Zell Miller Scholar, an Achieve Atlanta Scholarship recipient, an Emory Pipeline mentee, and a scholar athlete. Without my mother's constant encouragement, love, and support, who knows what I'll be doing right now instead of giving this speech. We've been given everything we need in order to succeed, and now it's up to us to use those skills in order to become the people we are meant to be. In the fall, I am proud to say I'll be attending Pace University on a full tuition scholarship. Majoring in nursing, achieving the dream, believing the impossible.
Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. With the words of Dr. Seuss acknowledged, I stand here to welcome friends, family, teachers, administrators, and most importantly, my brothers and sisters, to the moment that many of us have anxiously waited for since starting high school. It is with your constant love, care, and support that I stand here today as the Best Academy High School Class of 2017 Salutatorian. Reminiscing on my high school journey, focusing on the memories that will forever linger in the back of my mind, I learned that the struggle to find an identity for myself led me to countless roadblocks, numerous accomplishments, and everlasting friendships. Walking the hallways of Best Academy at the 6th grade level showed me what being an outcast truly was. Having been born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, making the transition to Best Academy, an all-black, single-gender, public school in the heart of Atlanta, it was intimidating to say the least. But my brothers made sure that my presence would not go unnoticed. I can't say that every moment at Best was perfect. In fact, some of these moments were the exact antithesis of perfection. But it was these imperfect moments that taught me that talent was not going to be enough to get where I wanted to be. With this idea in mind, I began to value the guidance of my parents, appreciate the frustrations caused by my teachers, and commit to the path set by my mentors while facing my adversities. Said best by Will Rogers, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. This brings me to my final year of high school, the most memorable of them all. Starting this school year off, I decided to take steps to improve myself on a more personal level, starting with my trust. I'll always remember the dread of waking up at 7 a.m. every other morning to attend my Georgia State art class. Thanks a lot, Deontay. But through this experience, along with many others, not only did Deontay teach me to never trust him when it comes to long-term decision-making, but also that trust takes years to build. Deontay showed me what having a brother truly was. He gave me the courage to trust someone without any doubt. He pushed me to be the best version of myself every day. He was the first friend that I had to truly show me compassion, warmth, and concern. Thank you, Deontay, for always being there for me and allowing me to reap the benefits found within trust. I love you, bro. This led me to the discovery of self-honesty. Constantly dealing with the pressure of catering to the expectations of others led me to lose myself in the process. I began to feel resentment. My insecurities took control of me, and a lack of motivation soon engulfed me. But there was one person who allowed me to free myself from the shackles of others. This was Lauren Wells. Despite meeting her just this year, she has done so much for my growth as a person. She showed me that pleasing others for acceptance and approval might feel good in the short term, but it is self-honesty that allows you to live a life authentic, regardless of the perceptions of others. She taught me to care about someone other than myself. She believed in me when no one else did. She accepted me for me and allowed me to forget the constant struggles that I faced throughout my high school years. She is my best friend and so much more, and the impact that she has had on my life will always stay with me. I love you. Lastly, and most importantly, gratitude multiplies happiness. Be grateful for the friends that you have, the opportunities you took part in, and the family that has supported you throughout your journey. So to my mother, thank you for creating a better world for my sisters and I to grow. The constant amount of pain, struggle, and discomfort that you went through to get us each to this point will never go unappreciated, and I will always love you for that. To Mike, thank you for teaching me to master my emotions. You were the male role model that I needed to grow into the man that I am today. And without you, none of this would have been possible. To Jasmine and Casey, the amount of obstacles each of you have faced to get where you are has always astonished me. Thank you for being the big sister that I needed and trying your best to create a path for me to follow behind. And to the rest of the family and friends here to support me on this monumental occasion, here stands the man that will continue to empower you and embark on opportunities once thought unimaginable. Thank you.
Before I begin, I want to let the audience know that this speech is in memory to my late uncle, Stanley Jackson. We love you and we miss you. I also want to dedicate this speech to Ms. Garnetta Penn. She is the epitome of what a Maze Raider should be. She is the definition of our school's motto, a legacy to keep and an image to uphold. Ms. Penn, thank you for all you do. Thank you for not giving up on us. This is for you. Good evening to the Atlanta Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Maria Karstarfin, our principal, Mr. Richard Fowler, staff, students, family, and friends. I am Samuel Jackson Weeks, the valedictorian and star student of the Benjamin Elijah Mays High School class of 2017. As our wonderful salutatorian Kayla Willis said earlier, congratulations, today is our day. We're off to great places, we're off and away. Well, in a few minutes we will be. That's the very popular beginning to my mother's favorite book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, by Dr. Seuss. On my first day of pre-K, my mom and dad told me that I represent God first, then myself, then my family. I want to thank my mom and dad for telling me to do my best and not pressuring me to be perfect to please them. Thank you, Dad, for molding me into a young man and being my biggest support system. Thank you, brother, for being my right-hand man along the way. And to my mom, or Superwoman as I see her. Without you, I would not be standing here today. I know I may not be the best kid inside of 2112, but I make it my personal goal to represent you with the highest honor every time I leave that screen door. I know I don't say it much at all, but I do love you. My dream came into existence when I witnessed the inauguration of Barack Obama. I knew I didn't want to be president, but the way that he brought all races together really moved me. He's special. He has that energy about him that's cool and nerd and funny, but driven and passionate, and he'll get stuff done. Ooh, okay. Anyways, we all have a plan. Whenever Principal Fowler came on the intercom with a college acceptance announcement, he always ended with, shout out to them for having a plan. I plan to be at Brown. Others plan to be at UGA. Some plan to be at Tuskegee, Hampton, Howard, and Spelman, and yes, Queens University. Some plan to be entrepreneurs, and some plan to be in the armed services. But as long as we have a plan, we don't have a plan to fail, and that alone is worth a celebration. When I was first given the theme of this speech, I immediately thought of two people, Jermaine Cole and Dr. Seuss. Jermaine Cole is one of my favorite rappers, and my favorite song is called Love Yours. The main message of this song is to simply love the life you have because you were dealt that hand for a reason. Cole says, always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a girl that's better out there on the tours, but you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. Don't get jealous of someone making higher grades than you because your best should be satisfying enough. At the end of the day, your life is so much better than someone else's that we should never complain. Love Yours also emphasizes the need and power of love, especially in our community. If we don't love each other, how will we ever make progress on the bigger social stages? It starts in-house. But the question is, do we really love each other? I interpret love as caring for someone or something in times of negativity and positivity. Love is what has kept and will continue to keep our community strong. My beloved teachers, Miss Mallett, now Mrs. Gilliam, Dr. Bush Eckford, Miss Irvin, Mr. Baines, and Miss Smith uphold Dr. Mays' legacy of academic excellence by setting high standards for the students who sit with us here tonight. In their classrooms, aiming lowest in, so when I told them that I would be attending Brown University in the fall, they knew that they had made this mission possible for me. I also want to thank and shout out my best friend, Benjamin Leverett, the valedictorian and star student at Booker T. Washington High School. He's been my biggest competition, but he's also been a brother. He reminds me that if I shoot for the stars, that I will at least land on the moon. There's one thing in common that all Mays students have to do every day of school. We all have to travel up the Mays High Hill, we call it. It's where our dreams began and where our journeys grew. It's where I've learned to love what I have. It's where I've learned to become a living symbol of my school and city. It's also, like all families do, have arguments and moments of disappointment. It's also where we return after losing 2 state championships. But it's also where we return after winning 2 state championships this year. On the Hill, we excel in the classroom. Like Principal Fowler says, they should come see us, not just in times of negativity, but times of positivity. We have set ourselves up to chase our dreams by ending our high school careers off with a bang. But here's the thing, our journey is only beginning. Soon we will all be in different cities pursuing different majors and different trades that will help us chase our dream. What I hope is that we don't forget. I hope we don't forget where the seed was planted and nurtured. I want us all to come back and share with those younger than us that it is possible. I want the young men sitting behind me to come back and tell them that it is possible to beat the system. I hope we all find something that we love, something that we're passionate about, because I know that if we find that, the money will come, but happiness, I'm gonna say that again, happiness is what matters the most. The road will be bumpy for sure, but I always remember to thank God for all of my setbacks, because He is the reason that I'm able to get back. So congratulations, my class of 2017. Today is our day. Our dreams are waiting, so let's get on our way. Thank you all so much for lending your ears to me. Go Raiders, Mays Ride, Mays all in.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Bro? Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot Top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. That was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Attention travelers. Next Tuesday, a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Water, phone, and internet service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Hello and good afternoon, friends, family, and faculty. Thank you for being here. My name is Stockton Delaria, and I've been given the tremendous honor to speak to everyone today. So here it goes. Graduates, think back on these past 4 years. Think back to all that we have learned, endured, and experienced. Think back to the times we had with faculty, friends, and family, and realize that many of us grew as individuals because of the people in our lives. From the teachers, we discovered previously untapped interests and passions. Many flourished in the arts as musicians, dancers, and filmmakers, while others have taken their passions international by studying the likes of Chinese, Spanish, French, and even Arabic. Some have explored the business world, and even few started down a path to serve our country. I was blessed to have Mr. Olgatni as my freshman Arabic teacher and Dr. Freeman as my IB business teacher. Those teachers influenced my interest in Arabic and business, and I'm certain everyone on this stage has had that teacher who sparked a newfound curiosity in high school. Beyond North Atlanta, our friends molded us into the people we are today. In my life, close friends have showed me kindness and dependability. They have taught me good character and commendable work ethic. They made me feel accepted and valuable. My friends shared weird quirks and fun experiences, and they've changed me for the better. For family, most of us had a mother, a father, a sibling, a relative, or just that person that feels like family, who was there to support us throughout high school. They were the ears to our problems and the source of valuable advice. Our families, whoever they may be, raised us, and our excellent qualities can be attributed to them. So as we reminisce, it is easy to see all the people, those teachers, friends, and family members who positively affected our lives. So the first point for my fellow graduates is to thank the people who had an impact and changed us for the better, because they deserve great appreciation. But my speech does not end here. The well-spoken Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." With that in mind, it is important to realize that just like our teachers, our friends, and our family, each and every one of us has had an impact too. Whether we realize it or not, we have impacted the faculty and friends we surround ourselves with every day by the way we made them feel, how we behaved in class, the interest we took towards the subject, our character, our attitude, and our kindness. All these factors are stored as memories in the hearts of the people to whom we now must say goodbye. And it is how we will be remembered at North Atlanta. But now, as we move on past high school, we stare down the beginning of the rest of our life, which gives us a unique opportunity. We will meet many new people from all walks of life, and we get to choose how we will treat them. As Maya Angelou said, we get to influence how they will feel. And we can decide to have a positive impact on others. And we get to decide how we will be remembered. So today, I leave you all, the graduating class of 2017, with an important challenge. Go out and be remembered. Have a positive impact and leave a strong legacy. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome one of my good friends, throughout high school, Sterling Spiegel, the class of 2017 Valedictorian.
Believe it or not, I haven't gotten along as well with others as I have with my good friend Stockton, who just finished speaking. If you don't know my history, it's easy to look at me and think that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, or that all of this just came easy to me. But in reality, my father and I haven't spoken in 12 years. I wasn't accepted to every college to which I applied, among other things. To some extent, everyone in this room has faced trials and circumstance. And this stems from the sad truth that not all people believe in you, want the best for you, or even think the best of you. Fortunately, the same is not true for the smartphone program known as autocorrect. If you've ever been really angry with someone and you've tried to communicate this over text message, you've probably noticed that autocorrect steps in and maybe changes a few of your harsher words to just soften the blow. And if you're extremely discontent or just more petty, you'll go back and you'll revert those words to their original form so that they can have that intended effect. Interestingly, when you frequently change, the autocorrect program suggestion is supposed to recognize this pattern and no longer correct the word. Yet no matter how many times you or I may try, when typing an explicit word, autocorrect always interjects. And this is because of the nature of the program, whose designers created a sort of priority system based on the probability that a word has been said. The fact that harsher words are always corrected serves to indicate that they are considered seldom used. Upon discovering this, I thought to myself, these are some really incredible individuals, to make this algorithm because they have to be so intelligent, but also because they actually seem to believe that no one has ever tried to cuss anyone out over text message. In other words, autocorrect has more faith in humanity than we tend to have in each other. Despite sitcom or feel-good movie messages such as "You Can Do It" or "Shoot for the Stars," my observation of the real world is that people don't really tend to believe in you. People aren't always cheering you on because success for one person often may mean that that level of greatness cannot be achieved by another. This is exemplified in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, which is based on Christopher Gardner's life. And I hold these words very true to me as he looks at his son and he says to him, "If people cannot do something themselves, they are going to tell you that you cannot do it." I can guarantee you that numerous people in this room were told that they would not make it at some point in their life. Others might have been told you won't get into that school, you won't get that job, or quite simply, you're not good enough. Sadly, some people in this room may have received this type of discouragement their entire lives. I'm one of those people. And so one of my favorite quotes I've used to get past that negativity is Vince Lombardi's claim, "Life is not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up." For no journey is without setbacks. No athlete has gone without injury, no relationship without a fight, and no scholar without failing a test. And when these setbacks occur, it's easy to listen to the doubters and the people who don't believe in you. It is easy to let life knock you down, and even easier to let those type of people keep you down. Most of all, it is easiest to just quit. But we are warriors. So what is it that makes us different from the quitters? What is it that has enabled us to endure the last 18 years and will help us through the next 80? The answer is right in front of you and behind you. It's all around you, actually. It's the 400 graduates standing behind me and the 5,000 of you gathered here in the audience. When we've been knocked down, and it appears that the entire world, and even ourselves, may look at us and tell us to quit, it's the family, friends, loved ones, and fellow classmates gathered here today that silence our critics, help us back on our feet, and make quitting impossible. To my fellow graduates, I encourage each of you to make it known how much you appreciate every one of your supporters. I hope that your time in North Atlanta has enabled you to believe, like the smartphone programmers, that all human beings have the best intentions. But above all else, I pray you never forget this final lesson you will receive as a high school senior. Life is not about how many times you get knocked down, but it's not about how many times you get back up either. It's about the people that help you get back up. Thank you. God bless. Beat Navy.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever played the game of spades or Uno? If so, imagine the dealer is passing out your hand and you look at your cards like, what is this? You realize you have all the ones and threes for spades, And in the game of Uno, you don't even have any cards that allow you to skip, reverse, or change the color. How are you supposed to win? Well, that's somewhat similar to us. But if you take a look around, we are graduating seniors of Booker, Teleferro, Washington High School. Despite the cards we were dealt, Title I school, low-income community, and despite the odds, we finally won the game. Remember 9th grade? It feels like yesterday. We walked into the gym looking lost. Okay, maybe you didn't, but I did. But we managed to find our way. Viewing the posters on the wall, we found our respective advisory classrooms, as well as our respective floors. You know, banking, finance, and investment, health science and nutrition, and early college. I chose early college, and it was on that floor that the reality of high school hit me dead smack in the face. It was in Mr. Davis's 9th grade biology class. I received a 92 as a final grade, the lowest I would ever receive in my life. I went into Mr. Davis's class and treated it as if it was a social hour. I thought that I would just get the high A because Mr. Davis knew the work that I was capable of doing. But that's not how the real world works. Actually, that's not how any of this works. You get out of it what you put into it. That 92 served as so much more than just a number to me. It became my motivation. It pushed me. It has enabled me to stand before you today, the female with the highest grade point average in my class. I challenge each and every one of you to find your own 92. 10th grade. The rumors that we will be joining as one big school were true. We walked into the gym, welcomed with the open arms of our new principal, Dr. Tashara Wilson. Her motto was, one school, one family, and boy did she love to say it. 11th grade. This was the year that early college students would step onto the campus of their respective institutions. I chose Georgia State University. Even though I was initially intimidated with the idea of being a high school junior on a college campus, I boldly accepted the challenge. My ego was immediately shot down as I stepped foot into Dr. Thomas Schott's United States history class. He asked a question, and me being me, you know I was the first to raise my hand. First and wrong. My pride was hurt, but as I look back and reflect on that moment, it taught me a lesson. It taught me to not be afraid to make mistakes. It taught me to not let the risk of situations hinder my attempt. Friends, there will be times when we raise our hand and don't get the answer right. There will be times when we try and don't get the outcome we anticipated. But let's not view those occasions as losses, but rather as lessons and learn from them. 12th grade, senior year. It snuck up on me. My initial hand wasn't too promising as it revealed that my dream school, Spelman College, wasn't quite a reality, given its excessive cost to attend. So I surveyed the circumstances to position myself for a win. I traveled up to Hampton University, fell in love, and committed the next day. But when I came home, I received news of a $90,000 scholarship offer from Spelman College. So I immediately withdrew my enrollment deposit from Hampton University and dove full-fledged into scholarship applications. And I must say that my strategy has paid off, because on April 26th, I was presented with the best news I think I will ever receive in my life. I was awarded a full ride to attend Spelman College worth over $200,000. I have never cried so hard in my life. I am only telling you this to say that strategic moves do pay off and your hard work will pay off. As you can see, over the course of the last 4 years, Washington has transformed us into some extraordinary players. We've learned to play our hand out, and we've learned to play it out well. I mean, one more time, take a look around and realize where we are. We're in the Georgia World Congress Center, minutes before becoming Washington alumni. We finally won the game. And as we exit out of these doors, we're going to start another round. I encourage each and every one of you to go on and take on the world because you all are capable. So do not let your dreams die. Keep pushing, keep striving, and keep striving. Now, as I take my seat, I want to thank each and every one of you who have made it possible for me to stand on this stage. As Salutatorian, thank you for holding my hand when I stumbled and lost my way. Thank you for guiding me when I didn't know which direction to go. Because through all of that, I know I can make it through whatever deck of cards life decides to deal to me. Thank you.
How did I get here? What has empowered me to make it this far? My decisions have not been perfect, yet there are people who have made no such mistakes, who are no longer with us because they look like me. How has the class of 2017 made it this far? We can thank our families. We can thank our friends. We can thank our supporters. We can even thank our doubters. However, I refuse to leave out the one with whom all things are possible. I thank God. For the watchful eye of protection, for the blessings He has seen fit to place in my life, for the sense of purpose He has given me in this world. God will continue to be the great entity that empowers me, and I will continue to grow through His guidance. If you choose to become the dynamic duo that God wants to be with you, there are no limits to the goals that you can accomplish. I stand before you, valedictorian, star student, multi-million-dollar scholar, having earned over $3 million in scholarships. I truly appreciate all of the love and support I have been blessed enough to receive. However, I remember a boy who only wanted to earn a couple of dollars for good grades in elementary school. While pleasing my parents was rewarding enough, pocketing some extra cash has never hurt anyone. Apparently, I started earning too many A's because the monetary reward began to decrease. Eventually, I stopped expecting money after I brought home a report card. Striving for success became a task that I would do for myself, for my future, and the future of those I care for. Instead of money, my parents gave me high expectations. I did not see that coming. I decided to dedicate myself to my education and my future. I chose to give 100% of my effort. Actually, most of us give 100% throughout the week. It's just 10% Sunday, 10% Monday, 20% Tuesday, and so on. To reach our true potential, we must give 100% every day. But are you willing to give 700% throughout the week? Your success is yours to define, target, and conquer. Some of us salivate at the dream of reaching the top of the world, but the highest peak requires the steepest climb. There is not an escalator. If any of you find one, be sure to let me in on where it is. Too many of us are waiting to find an escalator to the top, and even more have grown to be satisfied with their view from the valley. You will have to find peers with similar motivations as you, because you will realize that not everyone wishes to see the world in the same view as you. You will realize that not everyone wants to be great. and even less are willing to do what it takes to achieve greatness. My best friend and I pushed each other to be the young men we are today. Sam Weeks is the valedictorian at Benjamin E. Mays High School. Congratulations, brother. The class of 2017 is full of talent, intellect, and potential. Credit must be given to our loved ones, and especially the staff at Booker T. Washington High. It is difficult to describe a school such as ours, a school whose halls were roamed by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and later by Young Thug, a school who received visits from First Lady Michelle Obama and Migos the same school year, a school that prepares its students in a neglected community for futures many may not have believed to be possible. Booker T. Washington High School has been a bridge to success, a bridge to excellence, a bridge to our future. So what is next for the class of 2017? How do we know what path will lead to our highest peak? Some will tell you to go with your gut. Let your instincts guide you. Some will tell you to think with your mind. Just let logic guide you. Some will tell you to follow your heart. Let your emotions guide you. My family will tell you to pray. Let God guide you. Regardless of the path you choose to follow, I hope that it brings you life's most precious moments, the moments that make your jaws drop, eyes water, and hearts warm. Ecclesiastes 9:11 states, "The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all." You do not have to be the fastest, strongest, or the smartest. Be in the right place at the right time. Do the right thing. Surround yourself with the right people. The right foundation has been laid. Thus, we can win the race. We can win the battle. We can make it to the end. The class of 2017, we can make it.
Dr. Bachman, Dr. Karstarfin, teachers, counselors, proud families, and most of all, my fellow graduates of the class of 2017, I'd first like to say thank you. It's an honor to be standing before you today, not only because I'm proud to call myself a part of the Grady community and a member of this graduating class, but because standing here means I've miraculously managed to survive despite Mr. Vincent's warnings about worse than horrendous traffic, the nightmarish parking, and the dangers of open-toed shoes. While the trip here today might not have been quite as difficult as predicted, the journey for all of us to this huge milestone in our lives certainly has presented its fair share of obstacles. But we made it through the Everest-like struggle of having class on the 4th floor, the last-minute dashes to get to first period when you couldn't afford to be late another time that week, and Dr. Props's ear-shattering whistle jerking us from our natural half-asleep states. By now, I suspect that, like me, many of you are pretty sick of the insistent questions. What's next? What do you plan to study? What are you doing after high school? I distinctly remember a day in 6th grade computer lab when we were all asked to fill out a 50-question online survey. Using our interests and personality tendencies, the quiz was supposed to match us to our most fitting career. As an overachieving sixth grader, I had some pretty high expectations. Wow, the answer to the question every adult seemed to spend years agonizing over could be answered by 50 simple multiple choice questions. What a revelation. So I start off with favorite subjects, hobbies, strengths, weaknesses, easy as pie. The only problem is the answer I see on the screen once I finish. I don't see architect or engineer or teacher or any normal profession like I might expect. Nope, instead I see acupuncturist. Not that there's anything wrong with acupuncture except the slight issue of me hitting needles, but it wasn't exactly what I envisioned for myself. No, to my disappointment, that sixth grade survey wouldn't be the end-all answer to one of the biggest questions faced by our generation, as nice as that would have been. And for now, like many of you, I've decided on a completely different direction. Undecided. And as terrifying as being undecided is, we're still so young. We have so much time ahead of us. And it's almost comical to expect a group of 17 and 18-year-olds to know exactly what we want to do with the rest of our lives. But being open to the idea of change is something we all need to do. Here we are, 3 principals, 2 superintendents, and 1 football scandal later. We've been the educational guinea pigs of everything from pathways to academies to the current educational paradigm. And we've been inundated with changes in standardized testing, from the SAT and ACT to the constantly shifting array of state-mandated tests. In politics, we came close to electing the first female president. Instead, we elected someone who provides the late-night comedy shows with an ever-changing supply of new material. I'll be the first to admit, with change comes uncertainty. But this isn't the time for fear. It's a time for embracing change and not just passively accepting it, but actively working for positive change. A lot of you have already demonstrated yourselves as agents of change. You've founded your own clubs, led your teams to victory, given a helping hand to your peers, and even stepped up to make policy changes for your school. That's something to be proud of because you didn't do just what was required or asked of you. In our time here, we've seen the positive effects of many changes. A robotics team that continues to amaze, sports teams that made Grady history, and a school newspaper that's received national attention. We've had students study abroad, write and direct their own plays, and even create and sell original artwork. Simply being a part of the Grady community over these past few years gives me hope that we can be supportive rather than divisive. We can choose to lift each other up rather than tear each other down, and we can work to try to understand one another rather than fear our differences. I'm not claiming Grady is any kind of utopian society. After all, we insist on calling our ant-infested trailer park annex the instructional suites, and the cafeteria metal detectors will continue their pointless screech. But I do think that Grady has taught us open-mindedness, inclusiveness, and acceptance in a way that prepares us for anything that comes our way. At our vision ceremony, Dr. Bachman reminded us of the Grady community's ability to literally change somebody's life for the better. That's something we all need to remember as we leave Grady and enter the real world. Change requires the kind of adaptation that Grady teaches us. I had to adapt to the idea of becoming an acupuncturist, or not. In response to the latest Georgia handgun laws, Georgia colleges had to add bulletproof vests to their freshman packing lists. And at Grady, each new change in administration and new proposed policy was met with some resistance, but looking back, those changes weren't quite as dramatic as we all feared them to be. No, change isn't something to be feared, but rather something to inspire change within each of us. Yes, class of 2017, we have been through a lot of change together, but none of that compares to the changes we face in the future. Because today, we leave the APS bubble we've all become accustomed to and go forth into a world of the unknown. Most of us will change our minds about our future plans and change them again, many of us even before we leave today. But that's the whole point of being open to change. Wherever we go, whatever we do, whether it be Atlanta, another city, or even another country, we will always be graduates of Grady High School. As we move on, let's make a commitment to do something important, whatever that may end up being. If we can venture into the unknown with the mindset and strength of a true Grady Knight, then, as President Obama said in one of his many parting speeches to the nation, we're going to be okay. Class of 2017, we are going to be okay.
A good morning to you all. My name is Demario White, and I'm Salutatorian for Carver School of Technology. We are gathered here this morning to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2017. On behalf of the entire class, I would like to welcome you to the commencement ceremony of the schools at Carver. Today we stand as graduates of Atlanta Public Schools who will proudly go on to continue our academic studies and become productive members of the workforce. As we leave Carver, we can reflect upon the knowledge we've gained, the accomplishments we've made, and the talents we've discovered and the learning that takes place here. On behalf of all the graduates here today, I would like to welcome and thank all the parents, family members, and friends who encouraged and supported us as we work towards arriving at this moment. In our 4 short years, we have grown and matured in ways we never thought possible. Once again, we welcome all of you to the commencement ceremony for the Carver Class of 2017.
Good morning. My name is Tone Tucker. I am the Salutatorian for Carver High School. I will be attending Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana to pursue a degree in elementary education. This is an exciting day in our lives. This morning, we celebrate all that Carver has taught us and the many life lessons we've learned. On this occasion, we celebrate leadership and service, academics, artistic and musical talents, athletic skills, technology skills, and more that we have developed over the years. However, the greatest thing we leave here with is an understanding of the value of education. As we continue on our journey, either through higher education, the military, or the workforce, we take with us a love for learning that was fostered here. We learned that the road to success isn't easy, but we can achieve it if we persevere and stay focused on our goals. We will continue this practice as we transition to the next phase in our lives. So to my fellow graduates, we are headed out today, headed out to find success and realize our dreams. So good luck, best wishes, and congratulations.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
Attention travelers, next Tuesday a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Water, phone, and internet service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Your connection to school and district information is now available in the palm of your hands. The APS mobile app will help our community get connected, stay informed, and be engaged. With our free mobile app, stay current with district and school news, keep up to date with calendars and events, and follow specific schools for a personalized mobile experience. With the Stream button, all of your news is in one customized feed. For anyone who speaks another language, our app translates to 65 languages so all members of our community can stay informed. As a parent, our new app is your one-stop shop for student information. Just log in to the app and view student schedules, check grades, access your child's bus information, and see lunch balances. With this amazing new tool, it is now easier than ever to not only get connected, but stay connected. Search Atlanta Public Schools in the App Store and download the new APS mobile app today.
Of waking up at 6 in the morning, trying to fit in, and occasionally getting out of my comfort zone has led me to this position today. Good morning, my name is Jakinda Frazier, and I'm co-valedictorian at Carver Comprehensive High School. Today we sit on this stage in year 2017. 17 is merely the year we graduate, but it's the number that represents responsibility, self-discipline, and strength. We have all worked diligently to get here, proving that putting in time and effort pays off. Now that we have made it here, we have to remember that receiving this diploma is not our last step. We must continue to let our lives flourish and extend beyond our expectations. Note these words from Karen Ron. Only as high as I reach can I grow. Only as far as I seek can I go. Only as deep as I look can I see. Only as much as I dream can I be. The next 4 years of our journey will be self-discipline. We grow from young adults into mature human beings functioning in the real world. No longer can we call on our parents to tell them the supplies we need or a deadline that needs to be remembered. This would not be easy, but we have been faced with many challenges along the way. This day we stand strong. Remember, as you cross the stage, that this journey leads to another. Our journey will demand commitment, resilience, and dedication. We have to make the decision to keep taking responsibility and disciplining ourselves to do better. As Jane Goodall said, you cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what difference you want to make. So class of 2017, congratulations and continue to be great.
The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find. Throughout my childhood, I fought relentlessly to establish a voice for myself. I lived for years in the shadows of my older sister, who was always beautiful and gifted. The words, "You're so smart, you're just like your sister," echoed in my ears every time I received an accolade. None of my accomplishments were solely my own. I always had to share them with her. Though I was never resentful of my sister, I struggled to create my own spotlight. In doing so, I chose to attend the School of Technology instead of early college. However, I became so wrapped up in wanting the world to know who Brittany Biner was that I lost focus of my studies. I earned a C for the first time in my life. This was a crushing blow to my ego, since I had never earned anything below a B upon entering school. That's when I realized I had an important decision to make. Napoleon Hill once said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache
carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. For me, the benefit in this lesson was understanding that I had only one person to prove myself to, and that was me. I began the race of striving for my dreams, and since I was already one lap behind, I was determined to push myself beyond my own physical and mental limitations. Over the next 3 years, though many adversities may have come my way, I pushed through resiliently to reach my goals. As a result, by the time I was a junior, I was duly enrolled at Atlanta Metropolitan College, and during my senior year, I earned 12 college credits. You see, as I have developed my voice and found my identity throughout my high school career, I've grown to embrace my talents, strengths, and even my flaws. These are the unique elements that make me proud to say to you and the rest of the world that I am Brittany LaShawn Bynum, the valedictorian or George Washington Carver School of Technology, and the recipient of multiple full ride scholarships. I will be matriculated into the Tuskegee University on a full tuition merit scholarship in the fall. Life is not about the destination, but the journey. Thank you.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? For my family, the dream has been deferred for over 2 decades. As a Vietnam War prisoner for 6 years, my father was eventually released and given the opportunity to move to America in 1996 to pursue the American dream. However, the dream was not all that he had promised. My father had to settle for working 12-hour days at a printing press, and my mother, who had been a highly respected teacher in Vietnam, has worked as a seamstress and a part-time at a nail salon. For the last 21 years, this has been their routine. And although we haven't had many luxuries in our 2-bedroom apartment, our family had love, support, and a focus on education. These 3 things have kept me striving for my dreams. As long as I can remember, I have loved and done well in school. As a 9th grade student, I couldn't wrap my mind around this moment, for I was only focused on getting good grades. But at the end of that year, things changed when I earned the #1 spot in class. Being #1 meant getting college scholarships to become an engineer. It also meant I could eventually buy my parents a house, something they often talked about but never been able to afford. I fought hard to maintain my position, and after obtaining 32 high school credits, 28 college credits, a 4.0, at early college, a 4.24 at GSU, I, Jenny Nguyen, stand before you as the valedictorian of Carver Early College. I am the American dream. It states you can come from anywhere and be anything you want in this country. That is exactly what I've done. In the fall, I will journey on to obtain a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering at Georgia Tech. Julian Castro stated, "In the end, the American dream is not a sprint or even a marathon, but a relay. Our families don't always cross the finish line in the span of 1 generation, but each generation passes on to the next the fruits of their labor. While my parents' dream may have been deferred, it is not denied. I stand before you to let you all know that harvest time is here. I will manifest the dream that my parents started 21 years ago."
Good morning. Welcome, parents, family, and friends. I am Anna Watson, co-valedictorian of George Washington Carver High School. Many of us were told we were spoiled and didn't work hard enough, that we wouldn't make it in the real world and everything wasn't going to be given to us. While many believe that could be damaging to a child, I believe it motivated us and we turned negativity into ambition. We are resilient. One amazing aspect about this generation is that we love challenging stereotypes and perceptions. We love proving people wrong. So for all the graduates sitting on this stage, I congratulate you for overcoming those hard situations. Whether it's as little as going to an inner city school with no supplies or as big as homelessness, we overcame those barriers not merely to disprove the naysayers, but to personally prove to ourselves what we thought and now we know. We are achievers. Guess what? We made it despite the odds, and we can't give all of you the credit because for everyone who said we wouldn't make it, there were at least twice as many people who believed in us and shaped us into the people you see sitting on this stage today, about to start a new chapter in the book called Life. In conclusion, I ask you to look at the people on this stage and remember us. The next time you see us, we'll be making the world a better place. We have plenty of creative minds just waiting for the opportunity to show the world just how amazing the class of 2017 really is. If you don't remember a single word of mine, please remember those of Ellen DeGeneres. Follow your passion, stay true to yourself, never follow someone else's path. Thank you for your time, and again, congratulations to the class of 2017.
Well, Kayla, our graduation date is finally here.
Yes, it is, Adriana. I believe that the class of 2017 is ready. What do you think?
Yes, we are ready to soar into our new destinations in life. Also, I would like to congratulate you for soaring in academics. You are graduating with honors.
Thank you so much, Adriana. When I first started at CREAM, I was unsure of how my future was going to be. I came in with no goals or no plans. All I knew is I had to graduate for me and my son. However, after talking to teachers and counselors, I finally had a plan. I decided I would attend Atlanta Technical College for early childhood and business. My dream is to open my own daycare. To make this dream a reality, I realized I had to work hard every day, and every move I make today must be connected to my goal. Thanks to Ms. Dones, my science teacher at CREAM, she shared this quote by Steve Jobs that really inspired me. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's dream. Don't let the noise of other opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and own inner voice. Because of Ms. Dones and other wonderful teachers here at CREAM, I am a much stronger young lady. I will be achieving new goals. As I close this chapter of my life, I will open a new one with bigger dreams, goals, and a plan. It gives me great honor to congratulate my sister, Adriana Wyatt. You have been soaring all year with your academics, leadership, and character. You have inspired me so much with your kind and supportive spirit. Your work ethics has really paid off because you're sitting in the #1 ranked seat of Alonzo A. CREAM Open Campus class of 2017. I honor you, my sister.
Thank you. It has not been an easy flight to make to this destination. I've worked extremely hard to get to this point and maintain my top rank. The great Frederick Douglass once said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress." It has been a long journey for each and every one of us sitting on this stage this evening. We have all endured many obstacles in our lives that may have been a major setback, but we never chose to give up. Through hard work, prayer, and determination, we have yet managed to overcome our obstacles and make it to this very special and very important day, our graduation. We as students are blessed for this second opportunity that CREAM has given us at earning our high school diploma. I can truly say that CREAM has helped open many doors and possibilities for myself and my classmates as well.
It's okay. Take your time.
For me, when I started CREAM, I had a total of 18 classes. It seems virtually impossible. My counselor, Dr. Prater, said, "You can do it. Stay focused, believe, and take advantage of all opportunities. I did just that. I was so determined to be here this day to say how I've accomplished my goal that I missed prom, finishing my ingenuity. I was able to accomplish this goal with the love and support of my parents, mom and dad. Thank you. I hope I made you proud. I would like to thank God, from whom all blessings flow. I send a very special thank you to Mrs. Dawn Parker, principal, and the entire Alonzo A. Cram family for your love and support. Thank you.
Got it?
It is always a blessing to have such incredible people that has helped guide and mold me into greatness. It gives me honor to introduce to you Cram's greatness.
The next, John Hope Bryan. The next, Oprah Winfrey. The next, Viola Davis. The next, Denzel Washington. And the next, Loretta Lynch.
We will not let our dreams be deferred, for we are the captains of our flights.
Motivated and determined. Those words are the epitome of who I am as a person and a student. Even though many people use those words to describe me, that hasn't always been the case. There was a time where I was an unlit light bulb waiting for someone to flip the switch. My 6th grade teacher, Miss MJ, was that person. She saw the potential in me that I didn't see in myself, so she nominated me for Breakthrough Atlanta, a 6-year enrichment program designed for college readiness. Determined to live up to those high expectations and illuminate that light seen by Miss MJ, I, Hanika Albert, stand before you as the valedictorian of Coretta Scott King Young Women's Leadership Academy. As I reflect on my experiences at Siskiwala, there are 2 memories that I will forever hold dear. The first being my very first day as a 6th grader. I entered closed off and shy. I was nervous about attending an all-girls school because it was completely different than what I was previously used to. Secondly, I remember sitting in Mr. Mitchell's 9th grade world geography class and introducing myself to my sisters. That is when I announced that I would be the valedictorian. With that declaration, I knew I had to work hard. I knew I had to lose sleep some nights just to get ahead. I also knew that I had to stray away from social gatherings to focus on my studies. After the 7-year journey, I can say that I am more confident, more humble, more direct and expressive, but most importantly, I am more me. I am proud to proclaim that I will be attending the prestigious Georgia State University, where my love for math and science that only a STEM school can spark will prevail, as I plan to study biology in hopes to pursue a career as an anesthesiologist. Whilst at Siskiwala, I have been fortunate to have gained a village of supporters that have helped in my discovery of me. Students like Victoria Hood and Chrisangela Martin have taught me how to balance my academics while overcoming personal challenges. Students like Armani Jackson, Angel Walker, and Lauren Wells have shown me that determination starts from within. Cindy Jones has taught me the value of friendship and has pushed me to continue on with my journey. To my brother and sister, thank you for being my constants. Last but not least, thank you, Mommy, for always being there for me. Even though times were tough, you made sure I had whatever I needed for school. Without complaint, you made sure that my dream, which is now my reality, came true. To my fellow graduates, we made it.
We advocated for our schools and we advocated for our beloved community and the threat of school closure. We survived not one, not two, but 3 years of Mr. Thomas's life lessons. But most importantly, we have made over $4.1 million in scholarship dollars. As we part ways, remember to keep your lights burning so that the world can see how radiant you truly are.
The future is calling. It says it's too late to give up. It's too late to settle. It's too late to... The future is calling. It says it's too late to give up. It says that it's too late to give into the statistic that a young black man who would sell dope rap or go to the pen. It's too late to play 2K and waste the day away. It's too late to smoke weed, skip school, and still think that's cool. It's too late to procrastinate. Too late to place the blame. Too late to feel ashamed. Too late to settle. Too late to stay in the ghetto. It's too late to do all these small-minded things, unless you're small-minded too. But we're grown now, so if you do these things, one day the future will say, it's too late to be you. I am not here to motivate you. Only you can do that. I am not here to affirm your success and tell you where to go next. Only you can do that. I am not here to tell my story so that I can be cataloged along with the rest of the valedictorians of the past. I am here because I have something to say. I'm no different than anyone on this stage. We're all brothers and sisters, and I don't mean by complexion or genes, I mean by the lines that create your storybook and anything you can find that's in between. Take Abdul Allah. Everything I aspire to be and do can be found by observing him. Since my arrival at Best in the 7th grade, I have witnessed him be personally bullied based on his religion and timid personality. And though oftentimes I didn't know what to do, I did something better each day. I recognized that he is not defined by his religion, and I reached out to him as a friend. He is my motivation. This leads me to his antithesis, Corey Clems. He's a spontaneous, open-minded social butterfly who could be arbitrarily chosen to represent Best Academy just as any of us could. What separates him is the fact that he can motivate himself on a daily basis without the concern of critiques or opinions of others. Corey is himself for the sake of himself. And in that aspect, I aspire to be like him. He is my personality. Jazriel and Darius. It hurts my heart that you're not on the stage. Jazriel, you're my hero. You showed me that I could be consciously intelligent with unwavering morals in the face of adversity. Darius. Darius. You're my best friend. You showed me how to live life to its fullest. And I have a quote just for you from Guccius Maximus. If a man does not have sauce, he is lost. But that same man can be lost in the sauce. It seems like you had just too much sauce, man. You two are my fear. Adam Keys. You're my blood brother, my twin. And there were often times when I thought you'd be standing where I stand today, but you subconsciously motivated me to achieve my goals. We will both be attending the University of Notre Dame on a full-ride scholarship, pursuing a mechanical engineering degree. Black men are supposed to do that. I love you, man. You are my logic. Best Academy always seems to get a bad rap when it comes to the accreditation of a successful student. Without Best, I wouldn't have interned at Georgia Tech. Without Best, I wouldn't have dual enrolled at Georgia State. Without Best, I would not have been molded from a boy into a man. Mr. Randolph, Dr. Jones, Mr. Turner, Miss Nelson, Miss Lockett, Dr. Malik, Dr. Williams, Dr. FJ, Mr. Baggett, and Mr. Alligood, and so many more educators all believed in me. They saw something in me that I never could. A man. You are my vision. Miss Smith, my star teacher. You've always been in my corner, fighting for me, protecting me, showering me with love. You are my support. My brother Rashad dropped out of high school, but that's okay. He didn't give up. He got a job. He moved on with life. He moved out of our mama's house. He didn't resent it. He told me to be the best man that I can be, not for him, but for the family and for myself. He showed me how to fail. He showed me how to persevere. He is my strength. That's my favorite part, y'all, right here. Kira Sharp, you are my high school sweetheart. You struggled from start to finish, and we went through our ups and downs. We've been classified as fake love, puppy love, no love. But I'm not Drake. I'm a Rottweiler, and my love is real. You are a strong black woman. No, queen. No, goddess. You are my love. And finally, my mama, Alethea Fraction. I aspire to be like you when I grow up, always knowing what to do or being decisive enough not to show it, allowing me to be independent and follow through with the open-ended path that you have laid for me. Thank you for your stress. Thank you for your tears. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for being my shepherd in this unfair, untamed field of life. You are my independence. And for everyone else on this stage, you may not love me. You may not like me. You may not even respect me. But one thing holds true for all of you. The amount of admiration that I hold for you and the beauty that is within you is unmatched and unparalleled by anyone in this world. You held within you the power to do all things. You are my future. What I wish to impart on you today is that I am not here due to my character or my story. Any one of us could be where I am. I am here due simply to the grace of the homogeneous mixture that I just described to you. With my motivation, my personality, my fear, my logic, my vision, my support, my strength, my love, and my independence, I stand before you today. I am not the valedictorian. We are the class of 2017 Best in CSK Valedictorians.